Every time I mention the word husband, my videos perform better.
There are certain things that you can reveal about yourself that will build an affinity with the audience and will attract more audience. You have to kind of decide what you're comfortable with sharing and what you're not comfortable with sharing.
What if it does hit? Because then I kind of have to ride that wave and make more content.
Welcome to another episode of the Creator Method podcast. And I laugh because I am elated and I am so happy that I'm doing this with you, Vera, because you, Vera, were one of the original members of Creator Method back when we started, and you were very supportive, and you are just hilarious. And I always love when you come to the events, which you come to almost all of them when you can, and to the calls. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You know, when people ask me how I'm doing, I tell them that if I was doing any better, it would be illegal.
Yeah, I know.
And they would have to carry me away. I need to come up with a new line.
You do, because people haven't been getting that on calls when you're saying that.
I have to come up with a new line. That one is dated. I am going to read the quick bio that we have for you here, and then from there we are going to dive in. So Vera Alb is a mother of two who works full-time, a full-time 9-to-5 job, and still finds time to create content part-time while keeping her sarcasm fully employed. With over 18,000 followers on Instagram, she's known for her dry humor, honesty, and belief that anyone claiming they don't have time is full of it. One of the original Creator Method members, Vera proves that ambition and consistency can thrive even in the chaos of real life. So before the cameras were rolling, or maybe they were already rolling, we talked about this whole like hyphen fiasco going on with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Why does it keep doing this to us?
I don't know. It doesn't listen to what I tell it. I tell it every single time.
Do you give it a hard time sometimes and say, hey, listen, I told you, stupid?
Oh, I curse it out. I'm like, I have told you 100 times to stop using dashes in any of the answers that you give me.
Do you feel that by being impolite to ChatGPT, it's kind of dangerous because
No.
if and when the robots take over
No.
and then they're lining us all up to figure out which one of us they're going to kill, they're going to be like, oh, this one was mean to us or this one was nice to us.
Listen, kill or be killed.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So you believe that in a war with the robots, when ChatGPT takes over, humans will emerge victorious.
I hope I don't live till that day.
Well, I hope you do. So Vera, I want to kind of, jump in, and I want you to tell me your story when it comes to content creation. To me, you really represent a kind of a group of people who are, well, primarily women who have so much going on, who have their full-time careers, who are, obviously full-time moms, who also have to contribute to their marriage and keep their marriage going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really relate to this because this is obviously, what Valeria and I kind of live through and go through. And we're now, we've crossed over where we're doing this full-time and this is a business for us. But I feel that there are a lot of women who are experiencing this and who are yet to get, who are not at your point where they are on their way to growing the personal brand. So tell me about your story and how this all came to be.
The reason why I started making content is because I joined a network marketing company,
Mhm.
and the way to find leads was through social media, is the way it was kind of taught to us,
What
right?
kind of product was it?
It was a water ionizer.
Okay.
I still have it in my house. It's
Okay.
great. But we were running ads on Instagram stories and
Or
targeting people.
you were not, or you were?
We were.
We
So,
being the company or you?
Me, individually. So I would run ads on Instagram stories and say basically like talking to the pain points of a woman or a mom. At that time, I wasn't a mom yet, but talking to the pain points of someone who's stuck in a 9-to-5 or they want more and they're capped. But then I realized that even though I'm running ads,
Yeah.
I need a personal brand, because when they come to my page, what are they seeing? If there is no content that they can relate to, they usually don't stay or they don't fill out that ad. It was an application style ad. So kind of fast forward, I started to make content and I really started taking it seriously probably at the beginning of last year. So 2024. And that's when I saw my page growing. I thought, posting on stories meant that you were consistent on Instagram. And I see that a lot.
Yeah.
But your stories, don't reach the audience that you wanted to reach.
Not the
outside.
same type of discovery tool that
Yeah.
reels and carousel posts are. Yeah.
And I remember I did like a challenge. It was like, 30, 60, 90 days of posting a reel every single day. And that's when I truly noticed, oh, I'm posting reels. And this was the growth for my account. I was at 1,000 followers or something. And
So,
so
and in that 60-day period of consistent posting, how much did you grow?
not much, but my views, my reach grew.
Right.
So I saw that I was reaching so many more accounts. And individual reels were getting a lot of views. So for me, a lot of views were like in the thousands because I had 1,000 followers,
Yeah.
more or less. So that was at the beginning of 2024. And then I would say, kind of going into that summer, or let's say spring, summer, I was posting consistently. I was pregnant at the time. And that's when I was going like viral every single week. I know it's annoying, but I was getting like millions and millions of views per reel. Every week I would post, it was hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And that's when I really saw growth, thousands of followers from each reel coming. I remember I had this goal. I wanted to hit 10,000 followers before my daughter was born. And I did. Like, I think I was in the hospital and I was like crossing the 10,000 followers mark. But I truly saw that consistency and reels is what grew my audience. I don't think that nurturing your audience is different. That's like your stories, that's the engagement, that's the DMs. But if you want to grow your audience, you have to make content that's going to reach people. And that's not only stories and
Right.
DMs. After I had her, which is interesting, I was pregnant, exhausted with a toddler, and I experienced the most amount of growth in my
So
Instagram.
toddler meaning your other child.
My
your
other
older
child,
Plus
yes.
now the baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went from, I think I started last year at, let's say, I don't know, 1,400 followers. And then I ended the year, I think it was like 11 or 12,000. I was
Amazing.
right crossing that. So that's kind of where I started and where I am now. I saw that content can be also another stream of income for me. So even though I was doing network marketing and I was working on 9 to 5, I saw, oh, I can do brand partnerships and I can maybe do something else.
So brands
right?
started reaching out as well.
Brands started reaching out to me when I started like going viral every single week, or I would reach out to brands that I was interested in because I was pregnant. And I was like, well, I want this, I don't know, sound machine for my child.
Sure.
Like, I'll make a reel for you if you give me the product. And that's how I started. It was really good experience because I think sometimes maybe creators are afraid to like literally send a cold DM to a brand. It worked out for me for some of them. For some of them, it didn't, but it was a good way to network and things like that. And then now I'm at a point where, my child I was pregnant with is about to turn 1. So now I'm going through kind of a different season. I want to make sure I'm taking the audience that I gained through my pregnancy along on the journey of, having 2 kids now and staying, up with having 2 kids and a family, a husband, etc. So my humor is not around pregnancy anymore, unfortunately, which was doing really well, but it's around, motherhood and marriage specifically. That does really well on my page. And then I sometimes bring in the Eastern European humor as well.
Yes. I see it. I mean, you've covered a lot of the topics that I talk about on this podcast. You went from your story to like kind of where you're at right now. How many posts are you doing on a daily basis?
2 posts a day, usually.
Right.
Like today I did 1 because I had this lunch.
Fair. But, you're doing 2 posts a day and I see them in my feed. You're doing stories throughout the day. How is it that you have time to do this where people who are doing this full time are posting like 3 or 4 times a week and they're doing it full time and you're a full time mom and you have a full time 9 to 5 career. So how is it that you're able to do this kind of volume?
Like I was saying before, I hate that, not that question, but this concept of I don't have enough time because I have XYZ. I think that's such a myth. It's not true. I balance so many things and I find the time. So I actually heard this in another podcast. I think, when you're blowing a balloon, if you put more air in it, it expands.
Correct.
And the same thing happens with time. The things that matter to you, you will expand and you will make space for them. The day that I said to myself, this is like a business for me,
Yeah.
this is something that I want to do long term, it's almost like a job. You can't just not show up to your 9 to 5. I probably would get let go. It's the same thing with Instagram. If you want to make this a business and get brand deals or monetize, you need to commit to Instagram. So if you're not showing up twice a day, if that's what you're posting, you're not going up to your job. So for me, it's like, I look at my week. When can I create content? I batch. I can't not batch unless it's something that I think of on the spot or something. I'm driving in the car and I was making a video. I batch, I plan, and I edit when I'm on the toilet and my kids are
Nice.
leaving me alone and I'm editing a reel. Like I'm editing whenever I can. and I just make the time for it. So I really don't subscribe to that whole, I don't have time, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm making 3 meals a day. Like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting my kids to bed alone most of the time. Like, I just don't subscribe. I find the time. If this is a priority for you, if you want to monetize, you will find the time. Something sometimes gives. Like, if you can only post once a week, once a day, then you post once a day, but you show up. Um, but if you want to make this anything but a hobby,
Sure.
stop being a
I'm
hobby.
fascinated by the toilet edits because I feel that can be like a whole new, maybe we'll film a lesson on Creator Method and we'll put it out on the toilet editing. But no, but that's just, look, that's funny, but like that's just an example of, being able to find the time. Like I will, on the plane, I got so much done.
I love it. I love a plane ride.
The planes are great.
Mhm.
There's lots of time in there. And then like Ubers and stuff like this, I also get a lot done. You have a great attitude about like the work ethic. And I also feel like you have a much more realistic view on what it takes to succeed in this, because I feel so many creators, they will come into this and they'll create 20 or 30 posts and then they're all upset why they didn't go viral. Or
Yeah.
they could be a year or two into it and let's say they've made a sufficient amount of posts, but for whatever reason, they're not evolving as an artist, and things that used to hit are no longer hitting. You're
Yes,
smiling
I
because
resonate.
you resonate with that. But by the way, we all do, just so you know,
Yeah.
like everyone does, including myself and including Valeria. It's very non-linear. How do you, and I know like, you right now are kind of going through this period where you were kind of spoiled,
I
right?
was so spoiled.
You were
I
spoiled.
was so spoiled.
You were spoiled. But I want to elaborate as to why. You were spoiled because there were periods of time, especially right around when you were like,
Giving birth.
well, not literally, but even the time
Yeah.
before that, because you were like a super cute pregnant lady,
I
right?
guess, yeah.
Yeah. So, you garnered a lot of this attention during that period of time. And, and which is amazing to me, where you had all this, like, to be able to find you were still working, I'm pretty sure, like throughout your pregnancy. You were just as busy. Plus, you were carrying around an extra, whatever, 20 pounds or whatever that weight baby,
Yeah.
the baby, whatever women gain when they get pregnant. And you were doing that, and you still managed to put out the content, and you still managed to get all these views. And you did get spoiled a little because you had all of these views, and then right now,
Views.
right, you got a lot of views and you had a lot of growth, and now it's kind of subsided, and your average views per video you're not happy with.
Yeah.
And this isn't like a secret. I'm not telling people your secret.
No.
You're very
You guys can go look.
yeah, you're very vocal about
Yeah.
it. But I really do respect the fact that you continue to do it. And I think that, once you figure out, you have to keep reinventing yourself. And
Yeah.
I've often used the example of Madonna. She had to reinvent herself so many times because when she saw that she was kind of moving through her life and different stages of her life, she was no longer like convincing. Like, so she had this like period of time, you were either still a baby or not born yet, where she was like hypersexual, right? She was like, everything was about sex. She was like performing almost like pornography on the stage, right?
Yeah.
And then, I guess something happened and she realized, okay, like I'm at an age right now where that is no longer compatible with my, with who I am. And so therefore, like the audience isn't buying it anymore. So I have to change my persona. I don't even know how many, because she's been an artist in the spotlight for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So definitely as long as I've been, but I was there for like in the beginning, in the
early days.
the Like a Virgin days, even before that. She was in
I remember that. It's like with Britney Spears.
before. No, well, Like a Virgin
no,
was
this was
before.
before.
Like a
I'm
Virgin.
thinking of the MTV performance.
That was already modern day. But I'm talking about like when she was in, I think it was Venice in the boats, and she was like
See,
with the Like a She had this like period where she was like dressed in lace. I think it was like in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And she had these like lace fingerless gloves and stuff, and she was like she had a weird hat.
Yeah.
My point is that she has iterated herself so many times, and this is just such a prime example of what I believe you're going through. Whereas you had a season in your life that, for whatever reason, in that season, you had a lot of attention on you, and your videos, for whatever reason, people engaged with them.
Yeah.
And now you don't have that kind of performance.
I know.
No, I know, but I also don't believe, and I know that for a long time you were concerned and you were saying that it's the algorithm. You've been blacklisted and whitelisted and
I don't know.
green listed and blocked. And
Yeah.
I know, but in reality, if you go to that, your settings and you look at,
I was a green check mark.
yeah, it was green check mark.
I'm cool.
So your content has just like, it's kind of sucked lately. And I say this with love.
No, I know.
Right. So
It's not hitting.
It's not hitting.
It's not
I know,
hitting.
but then the question is what do we do? How do we, like Madonna, reinvent Vera
Yeah.
to get you to start hitting? So have you done that deep work and contemplation? And have you been, let me ask you this. You know, like Albert Einstein, he made a statement saying like the definition of insanity is to keep
Doing this
doing the same thing
thing,
over and over
expecting a
again,
different
expecting a
yeah.
different result. Are you doing the insane thing, or are you actually like iterating and trying to experiment?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both because I know what has worked in the past is, relatable videos when I was pregnant. I can also see how now I have to pivot and be like, what else is relatable for the masses? And that's marriage, for example, for me, where I can lean in. But the insanity pieces, I think I need to figure out maybe a different format or a different style of something that I'm doing. It just can't be always, a B-roll with text on screen. It
No,
has to be something else, me talking, or maybe it's like
I'm going,
comedic
I'm
skits or
going to your
something.
Instagram right now.
The one thing I'll say, I think you were
Tell me.
trying to say that before. It's like, I was spoiled, I grew, and like, why do I keep going almost, or
What's the answer to
the
that?
answer is I wanted to quit. Yeah, like so many times I've sat there and I'm like, why am I even doing this? But then I say to myself, even if I stop today, then I'm in the same spot. What's the alternative? I'm still working like a 9 to 5. I still have all these dreams and goals. And if
Yeah.
I'm putting them on the back burner, like the gap gets bigger and I'm not getting to my end goal.
I'll put it to you this way. If you keep going, you will get scale again.
Yeah.
That I'm sure of, because I've already been through this cycle over the last almost decade with Valeria, right? Where it never crossed her mind to quit because she knows that like I would be like, Valeria, come on, we can't, and I don't think it was even in her mind to quit. Like and it's not in your mind either, but I'm certain if you keep doing the work and if you keep putting out the content and you keep iterating it, I just think you need to do a little bit of deep work to understand kind of what's next
Yeah.
from a content perspective. But I wholeheartedly believe that if you continue and you continue putting out the content, you continue concentrating on both volume and quality, defined as the ability for the content to connect, then I do honestly believe that it will come back and
Yeah.
the numbers will scale.
I agree with you. I
I-
also think this gives me hope, but then hopefully other people an understanding that
I'm just looking at your content when we're talking it.
I had less than 10,000 followers and I was reaching 10, 11, 12 million in reach and views in a 30-day period consistently, month over month over month over month, like for a year, right? So you don't have to be at scale of, a million plus to get those numbers.
Yeah.
So if I did it back then, I know I could do it again.
I agree. I agree. So my question is like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking in terms of like, in terms of your content? Like, because you are, obviously, look, motherhood is something, but you've got something that I feel like a lot of other mothers don't, and you got the comedic element to it. Like, you're hilarious. Like,
I know.
you came to the last Creator Method meetup in Miami and had like a whole argument about handbags
Oh my
with
God.
one of our members. That was really fun. I only heard about it afterwards, but I think that was probably, we're not a very dramatic group of people at Creator Method.
So
That was the most
there
dramatic thing
was
that ever happened.
I think there was a couple of seconds that people were like, "Oh my God, what is about to happen?" Rachel and Blair holding hands under the table.
Valeria was there too. She was sitting at the table for that.
Yeah, she was at the table too.
So what are you thinking? Like, talk to me. Like, I want to understand the work that you're currently doing to try to, you know what it is? You're in a unique situation in the sense that there are many people when they're starting out, they don't know what to do, so they just kind of throw everything that sticks.
Mhm.
You're already coming at this from a place where you've had this like amazing growth and you've had this, these amazing metrics,
Yeah.
and now you're kind of like, what's next? So I mean, you briefly touched upon it, saying like now you want to talk about kids at a later stage, but
I mean, for me, like the analysis that I have been doing, I feel like every time I mention the word husband, my videos perform better. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should do more husband humor. However, recently, like through some of my personal life things that have been going on, I've shared like more like emotion or evoking content that like kind of really pulls at the strings of like emotion, and it's a little bit more serious, not comedic, which I probably could spin it to be really comedic. But that has been resonating well in a carousel format for me. So more of like that emotional trauma that I'm trying to bring out of me and kind of work through, a lot of people are actually relating to it that are current like audience
Yeah.
members of mine. They're like, I've been through the same thing, with my family member, etc. So I don't think I'll ever like stop being funny because, like you said, I'm really hilarious. So, but I need to kind of bridge that. Maybe there is a different side that I can share of that emotion side. Maybe I can make that funny.
Is your husband game?
My husband will make content with me, yeah, but he's not like the one to sit in front of a mic. If I'm like, we're doing a skit, you're sitting here. Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I can
Yes.
tell you that a lot of what Valeria, like we built with Valeria, is her saying to me, "I need you over here."
Yeah. I'll
Right.
do that. Yeah.
Right. So why aren't you doing more of that?
I have been. Well, not more of that, but maybe I'll do like 80-20. Maybe I need to do more.
Well, I think you should be more consistent with it
Yes.
because I know that this type of humor,
Mm-hmm.
especially on TikTok, and then it always transfers back to Instagram
Yeah.
because people always carry it over. It seems to have done like it had like its moment where there were these couple accounts that came
Yes.
up, or like what you're doing, where women would concentrate on, creating content with their husbands,
Yeah.
and it would just, it would get real scale. But the thing is I don't think it went away.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I believe it's still out there, and I believe that there's so much content. How much time a day do you spend scrolling TikTok?
I mean, an average probably half hour a day. I am.
So when you're scrolling TikTok, are you doing it with the intention of when you see something that's right,
Yeah.
and then you save it, and then you go back, and then you use it as inspiration
Yes.
to make it your own, to then create content from that perspective? So do you feel that you're like, are you actually, because I'm not seeing your husband show up that much when I,
That's good feedback because I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not. I am doing enough.
let's quantify it.
Yeah.
When was the last time your husband appeared in the content?
Hopefully, like a few days ago.
Hold on a second.
I thought we did a reel.
Well, maybe I'm just looking at the covers, and the
Maybe.
covers don't
No,
have.
they're usually the same. I don't mess with covers. I
So
don't have time.
here you've got.
I really don't have time.
Here you've got you eating the cookies or the crackers, the Simple Mills, which is delicious.
See, this is me like literally standing in front of my mirror, in front of my window, and just taking different B-roll.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying when people say they don't have time. Like that took me 5 minutes.
No, listen, you're preaching to the choir here. I get it. I was literally sitting in my cold plunge, and Valeria walked out.
Yes.
And the thing has like
The best video.
52 million.
I know.
I still have people stopping me saying, "Your wife with the dress and the shoes, you," right? Yeah. But I'm not seeing your husband.
I need more of my husband. I think that's good feedback because there was like a video that I did with him. I just had him sit on the chair in front of the shower, and it was just like, I'm turning on your favorite show.
I saw
me
that.
going in the
Well,
shower.
that was a trend. That was a trend.
Yes.
I saw that. And how did that one perform?
It did well. So when I say husband or something, it was text on screen with the word husband, and it does well. It kind of has.
I don't
peak.
know. I don't know that it did. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know that it did well because there was the text on screen that said husband. I think it was just a funny piece of content that did well.
Maybe it's both.
I don't think it got more distribution because the algorithm read the word husband and then put it out to more people.
Maybe.
I think that what happened is when people saw the word husband in their feed, in the context of you, that attracted them to the content. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's algorithmic distribution. What I believe and what I'm pretty certain of this is that the way the algorithm works is, yes, to a certain degree, it pulls out words on screen, it pulls out what you say in the content, it pulls everything out. It creates like a file. It matches those words it extracts from the file, and then it distributes it to the people who are more than have the highest probability of consuming that content in order to increase their time on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because Instagram goal is to increase the time people spend. That's how they make more money.
Right.
That's their key metric, right? Is how much time people spend. So to a certain degree, they're looking at those markers, like all the text that they can take from the piece of content. But more importantly, they serve this piece of content to an audience that they speculate will enjoy it or will consume it. And then they look at the markers that happens. They look at engagement metrics. They look at how long people are staying, and they look at a number of different things that nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
And the reason that Instagram doesn't want us to know what it is because they don't want us manipulating it. They want us to, because then what ends up happening is then their platform becomes a bunch of content where everything is basically made in order to game the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then there's like the quality goes down and it's just an attention. It's just everything is an attention grab.
Yeah.
Whereas they want that good, authentic content. But that good, authentic content, in order for it to get scale, you have to build a personal brand over time.
Yeah.
So it comes down to my core thesis of becoming a better creator,
Yeah.
becoming a better artist. So in your case with your husband, again, I just don't believe it's the word husband. I'm still scrolling and I still haven't seen your husband. So I'm already,
Sometimes I don't even include my husband, but I'm talking about it or I'm mentioning him. Like my husband asked me if I prefer quality time or gifts, and
I
I
saw that.
said quality
Quality
gifts.
gifts. I saw that.
So sometimes I'm mentioning him indirectly, but his face is not on there. But like let's say I did one of my husband was in this one. This was a while ago, but I would show it like female objects on the screen and I asked him to identify them.
I remember that.
So I need to
How
do
did
more.
that one do?
It did okay. It didn't like over index for me,
Mhm.
but there was a lot of engagement from my existing audience. Like they were like,
Good.
"Oh my god, this is hilarious!" Like they're like, "Oh yeah, I bet my husband or my boyfriend wouldn't be able to name them," or like they'll be making fun of how he, I don't know, whatever it was, like a face razor, and he was saying what it was for.
Right. So look, I also noticed that the collaboration posts you do, and I feel like almost exclusively everybody you're collaborating with is from Creator Method.
Yes.
So I mean, definitely, definitely continue doing that. Um, oh, here's one with your husband.
Yes.
Oh, and there's your kid. I
Yeah.
assume that was your kid, or you just
It's
grabbed
my
a
kid.
strange kid.
That one's my kid.
That
Yeah.
one's yours. Okay, good. You didn't. Yeah, like I would suggest against grabbing strange kids in the street because you might get in trouble for that.
I
Here,
don't do that.
Vera. So here's what I'm seeing as I'm scrolling through your content. I am seeing that it is a lot of you talking. It's some of this B-roll with text on screen. Um, I just feel like off the top of my head that it can be. Oh, here's with the wax on the leg, and
Because I didn't know what else to do. That one is really scroll stopping. Not that I didn't know what to do, but I was at a point that I was like, I'll try anything, you know?
right. Look, what I'm not seeing honestly is I'm not seeing trends. I think that's part of the. I think that's a piece that you're missing.
Trends.
Is doing the trends. So if you were to go on TikTok, the reason why TikTok for you and for most people, especially visual kind of comedic creators like yourself,
Mhm.
the reason I think TikTok is good because TikTok is serving you content that you personally engage with. So if these are the type of things that you personally engage with, like these, the couples trends and the funny, and just making them your own,
Yeah.
then it's going to be serving that to you. And by the time it gets to you on your For You page, that means it's doing well. And you can test that theory by going into, once you see something on your For You page, if you think you can make it your own,
Mhm.
meaning if you can use it as inspiration, you then go to that person's profile and you actually see if there's a spike, if that particular thing spiked. And if it does, that's a sufficient data point for you to say that you're taking a shot that this will outperform, this will has a higher chance of performing. So then my suggestion to you is to take that piece of content, like try to get an inspiration from it, make it, bring your husband, whoever, and then obviously
Just
post.
my husband.
Well, just your husband, whatever. But there's other trends that you can do. It's not
Yeah.
just couples trends, but you have to make sure that you're engaging with that type of content. So when you see it, make sure that you're saving it, make sure that you're engaging with it, and then TikTok will serve you more of that. And then bringing that over to Instagram, I think that'll increase the probability. Right now, I get I get what you're doing in terms of like this comedic spin that you have on everything and the text on screen, and I get that. And you're right, you're creating a lot of it because it's easy for you to do.
Yeah.
But these trends are easier than you think.
You're right.
It's not about right or wrong. I'm not trying to like tell you like I told you so. I'm trying to get you to I'm trying to get to like stimulate growth again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Please.
I believe that that's what you're missing. Like you're truly missing it. Like you're talking a lot to the camera. So you're doing that and you're taking good advantage of that. But I think that the kind of content that you have now should be a a, a portion of your content, not all of your content. So you need to start switching things up.
Yeah.
You're basically doing the insane Albert Einstein thing where
Yeah.
you continue to do the same thing and you're getting frustrated that things aren't working. You need to make changes. It's a lot less complicated than you think.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think it's like, oh, maybe it's gonna be a lot, but it's not a lot.
If you go to your TikTok
Yeah.
and you spend those 30 minutes really scrolling and like watching for these kind of trends. And by the way, if there are already creators that you admire
Mm-hmm.
who do comedic
Yeah,
stuff,
there are. Yeah.
right? You follow them,
Yeah, yeah, I do.
but follow them and prioritize them. So either I know on Instagram you can like mark them as priority, so you're showing them first.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can do that, and then I'm fairly confident you can do that on TikTok too. I haven't checked on that function yet. But that's what I suggest you do. And I think that if you start incorporating these trends, we call them at Valeria Inc.
Bangers.
We call them bangers. right? You've been talking to Rachel.
I could be hired for Valeria and
But
can understand the whole thing.
you could. So if you can take these and start creating these bangers based on trends that you're seeing,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be all of your content. If you can do like 3 or 4 a week, that
Yeah,
could
that's
be enough to start bringing the people in. I just think that the formats you're doing now, they're not working. They're not resonating.
Yeah.
So why keep doing them? You have you got to clean your slate, and you got to be like, all right.
Sometimes I feel like, to your point, like, why keep doing them? Because I think I still need to post something. I can't just post nothing. But then it goes back to the conversation of like, I also don't want to be posting garbage if it's not hitting.
I don't think you're posting garbage. It's just not hitting.
It's just not hitting. I think so too. I think you're right. Yes, I do look on TikTok. I actually do it on my laptop. I think it's better. You scroll on TikTok on a computer. There's an extension that you can get that when you go to a certain like creator's profile, it will sort the videos for you by views.
By views. That's a very smart thing to do.
So, and then I can see, oh, did it really peak, or every single video they have is 1 million, and this is just average for them.
You know, when it comes to trends, I want to kind of dig into this a little bit more. There's something that I call macro trends and micro trends. Did I ever talk to you about that?
No.
It's a trend on the platform overall. So like on TikTok, 10,000 different accounts are doing this one thing, whether it's a sound or a dance or some kind of a whatever, right? It's a trend for all of social media, right? And then there's micro trends. And I think the magic is really in the micro trends. And that's creators who have, like, say, a small audience. They have 5,000, 10,000 followers, right? Relatively small. And within their content, they usually get, let's say, 3,000 to 5,000 views. Something they did got 1 million views.
Yep.
Now, looking at these micro trends, when you find these creators and identifying that, you can see that because now you have your proof point, you have your data point that says, okay, this concept, assuming that you can make it your own and you can use it as inspiration. If you make that, you now see that it's been proven out somewhere else.
Yep.
And likely it'll be a similar audience demographic of, let's say, millennial age females, who I'm sure that's probably the majority of your audience. Moms, right? That'll appeal to them too, because chances are, if that trend is somebody who you like, who's maybe like who's the same age, kind of age and gender as you, then that'll be a trend that'll likely appeal to your audience as well. I like those micro trends.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and not to try to like deceive anyone, it's clearly not original. Listen, all the artists do this, by the way. Like all the rappers, they all dress the same. Everyone's.
We're gonna talk about Drake now.
We're gonna talk about, you got me again. But my point is like, for you to do this and for you to pull on these micro trends and also do the macro trends as well, I think that's a good thing for you to do. And if you want, on the micro trends, you can tag where you found it, but realistically, they didn't come up with it either. So the originator is kind of lost to the universe. Like nobody knows where the original came from.
Yeah.
But the way that these things grow is like they originate by one person doing something, and then somebody, like, it takes off. Somebody else saw it as a micro trend on their account. Then they did it. It took off with them. Now 2 of them have this. More people are seeing it, and then it just goes viral and it mushrooms from there. So why wouldn't you ride that wave? Everybody else is, so you should ride it too. Like, you should be following those accounts, and you can, by the way, you can mine for this too, right? You can go into these accounts, people who you admire, and by the way, they don't have to have huge audiences. They can have 5,000 or 10,000 followers,
right? And
you can see, okay, I look through. Usually they get 3,000. They got like 1 million here.
Yeah,
what's the concept?
Spike, yeah.
What's the concept? How can I? And by the way, like, you don't have to do it the exact same way. I saw somebody do a format. They said 5 years of therapy in 60 seconds. Let's go. So I went and I said something like,
I just saw that.
Yeah, I just put it up. I said 4 truths from 9 years and $15 million in brand deals in 60 seconds. Let's go.
That's a good one, yeah.
I know, but I saw there's one guy who's blowing up doing this with, like, it's one guy who does it for sales. He does it for therapy, relationships, and he just does this format, and he seems to be doing really well. Look, part of it is that the guy's just like talented and interesting, and he comes across as like an interesting dude, right?
Yeah.
But to me, I'm just like, well, I think I'm an interesting dude, so I'm gonna try it too. Oh, thank you. And so I did that, and now it's like overperforming for me, not by a lot, but still, like, it's still.
I did like that one. It was good.
Right, but what
I see what you're saying, taking someone and then really creating it to your own audience.
I created it for my subject matter.
Yeah.
Right, and I just did it for myself, and I'll probably do that format again, because I believe if I keep doing that format, then if I stick to it, then it'll probably grow.
Yeah.
So I do believe that you have what to do.
Yes.
And I think that even if your volume goes down, because some of these trends may take a little longer than the stuff that you're doing now, you're just really defaulting to the easy stuff that's to create.
Yeah.
But then it's not growing your account.
No, you're totally right. It's more like low hanging fruit.
Which you have to have. If this low hanging fruit was giving you the results that you wanted, or at least showing an upwards trend, then I would say continue doing it.
Yeah.
Because then your talent within that format would be carrying it. But it's not. And that's okay, because that's fine.
I gotta reinvent myself. Like
You have
Madonna.
where you have to reinvent yourself like Madonna.
I do.
But yeah, I mean, I think this trend is like I think this is a good start for you.
I agree. I'll do it. I have no problem with doing it. I will do whatever. I was talking to Rachel. I said, if you tell me I have to do a backflip and post a reel and it's gonna give me views, I'll do it. It's not, the execution is not the problem. I just tell me what to do.
I'm curious. So you had a call with Rachel and you guys talked.
Yeah, and we were talking in Miami too.
Right. So what did she tell you to do?
She mentioned actually the same thing about.
Did she really? So we didn't
the
talk.
trends.
Okay.
She mentioned specifically going and seeing if it's significantly outperforming. So if it's 1 million, but every other TikTok or reel is 1 million for them, that's not a
No, of
indicator.
course, there
for
has
you.
to be a delta.
It has to be like it's 10 million for them and their baseline is 1 million, or their baseline is 10,000 and this is hitting 100,000 or something.
So I think you can use those ones who have like millions of followers and who have like 1 million views on average each, and then have 10 million when it spikes. But I think there's just as much value, if not more, of the person with 5,000 followers.
Yes.
Who is getting 3,000 views per video and it spikes to 50,000.
No, I agree with you.
There's just,
I almost think that's more meaningful.
I don't know if it's more meaningful, but I think it's got to be. I think, look, you need to do right now that deep work, and you need to create a list with links to all of these accounts.
Yeah.
And then you go in once a day and you check their accounts. Or you can at least start mining those accounts. Like, there's no reason why you can't go and look at 100 different accounts
Yeah.
that have humor, couples humor. You know, you can find them. They're not hard to find.
Yeah.
And then once you find them, go through and literally, like, you don't have to wait, meaning this is actionable immediately.
Yes.
You can go through this list. You can go and start and look at 100 accounts, and on 100 accounts, you can scroll, boom, you get 1 hit, 2 hits, go, you grab the links, you put them in a sheet, you keep going, you go through 100 of them, you have 200 concepts.
Yep.
And now it's just a matter of executing on those concepts. And a lot of them will be simple that you can do at home with no props, no nothing.
Yeah. No.
Right.
I don't know.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
Household props.
No, I get it. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So, like, I know that you were frustrated for a while.
Yeah, because I was really spoiled.
You were spoiled, and that's a danger. That's what happens.
Yes.
That's what happens to child stars. They have this like big surge when they're little kids, and everyone's kissing their ass when they're like 15 years old, or and then all of a sudden they fall out of relevance, and then they become like like crackheads or somewhere. They're like they're all messed up somewhere, right? Usually they have like all these drug problems and all these problems. And I'm not suggesting that's going to happen to you, but
it's not. But I was spoiled. It was
right.
that.
You thought it was
going
going
to go back.
You thought it was going to last forever.
Yeah,
you thought that's it. I made it. Look, Ma, I made it.
My reach going from, I remember we just started like going down like 12 million, 11, 10, 9. And I was like, oh my God, 5 million, like I'm useless. And then it was like 1 million. I was like, if this goes under 1 million, like what am I going to do? And
I know, but
it's under 1 million. It's like 300K.
No, I know, but like attaching your happiness and your self-worth to these numbers.
Yeah, no, it's silly.
It's silly.
Yes.
Oh, the only way like to do this in a sustainable way is through long term. Yeah. You got to, keep thinking long term.
I am. Because I think that's the only way to think. Because you don't want to
I agree. Do you have any questions for me? Because I feel like you're more serious in this podcast than I've ever seen you.
Well, I want to be professional.
For who?
I don't know. Whoever's
for
watching.
Me? You want to be professional for me?
Whoever's watching
for the first time. Now you want to be professional with me. Up until now, you had no need to be professional with me. But now you want to be professional. But do you have any questions for me? Even outside of like content creation. You can ask me anything you like. If you've got nothing, it's okay. You're not going to offend me.
I need a minute. I actually think I do have a question.
Is it about my mother-in-law?
No.
Okay.
I've been saying that. I think I told Rachel and Valeria, I was like, it's like, I want to have dinner with her. I think she's going to have a lot of wisdom to share. I want to hear her perspective of life.
Okay, let's call her. You want to call her?
No, I want to have dinner with her.
Okay.
She's probably better in person, just like my Instagram bio says. Better in person.
Just like okay, so cool. So I'll make arrangements for you to have lunch or dinner with with Victoria, but you're gonna have to come to Miami at some point because she's not coming to San Diego.
That's fine.
Okay.
I will work around.
Okay. So we'll.
I am probably most likely coming in a month, so
Yeah, she's got to the summit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean at this point,
She's busy already, so she's booked and busy for the next 6 months. I gotta book her like next
my
year.
mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's busier than all of us. That should be no. Like we'll make it happen. But I think I should make it like into a series. I think like all Russian-speaking members
Yes.
we should do a thing where Valeria's gonna kill.
The short form content that can come out of that will be so good.
Yeah, but there's a danger to this.
Well,
I'll tell you what the danger is. You guys are all gonna get together. It has to be the Russian-speaking creators, mind you. I think her English is good enough now that
no, we got to do it in Russian. It has to.
You're
be
right.
In,
You're right.
In the mother
But
tongue.
what I'm saying is like you guys will go for dinner.
Yeah.
She'll likely have you over at her place. She's very Victoria's very proud of her amenities now because she moved into this like swanky condo
Great.
in Edgewater in Miami, and she's like, my amenities are the best in the city.
Our superior.
She's like, Gary, you can leave your dumpy little house and you can come here. You can use my pool and my gym here.
I love it.
Because my amenities are the best in the world. So she's likely going to want to host it. We actually did a Rosh Hashanah dinner, and she's like, we're doing it at my. She'd been living there for 4 days, and she's like, you have to do it at my place. So we went to her place and we did the Rosh Hashanah dinner. But I think that what would happen is, and I think where it's going to be problematic for me, is
You want us to sign an NDA?
no, I'm not.
Yes, I will.
At this point, I think I'll have a little talk with her before she meets with you guys. But what I'm saying is, you guys are gonna get together with her. Let's say there'll be 4 or 5 of you. You're gonna be having dinner with Victoria. You're gonna create a bunch of content. Shit's gonna go viral. Victoria's gonna.
And
have
then
a
you're gonna
million.
need to get us together again.
No, Victoria's gonna have 1 million followers, and then she's gonna come to me. No что?
Where's the money? I'm here to collect.
Ты меня должен подписать, и ты должен manage меня. Meaning you have to now manage me. You helped Valeria, now you have to manage me.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna have this whole other thing on my hands.
Well,
Do you know when people ask me? I get a lot of people ask me, would you like to manage other talent? And I say no,
no.
I don't. And they're like, well,
What if it's not you? What if it's another person on the team?
it'll always come back to me. They'll always want to talk to me.
Okay.
And I said, and I always say, it's enough that I have to work with my wife.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with somebody else's
Listen,
wife.
Yeah.
It's enough. I have enough of this dynamic, and I'm good. I don't need any more. I'm happy with where I am in
Don't
life.
say never, though. Never say never.
You never know,
You
but
never
I don't think so. I don't believe so. So anyways, yeah, I'm concerned about you making my mother-in-law into a star, and then I'm going to have to like deal with this whole diva thing.
Well, maybe we don't do content. Maybe it's just, closed doors dinner and then nobody needs to know about it.
You'll be filming content the whole time. I don't believe that a group of creators can sit down with my mother.
The content that I have seen, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's just the tip of the iceberg. That's why I need to be in the same room at the same table.
I you know what? I look forward to it. We've been talking about having her on Valeria's podcast.
Yes.
That'll be interesting. You know what you should check out? You should check out, years ago, they did a vlog where they went to Russia. They did it. You saw it?
You're like, you think like I'm a peasant.
No, not at all.
You think I don't know what you're talking about?
Okay, so you saw it, yeah.
That it was the video that I actually discovered Valeria with
From her mother and her in St. Petersburg.
the father.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to take credit for that.
I know the credit you're going to take.
Tell me.
Because you're going to say, you're going to post it. You should post it. So many people are going to relate to it. And you should go to Russia because of you'll never get the opportunity again.
That's exactly
I
what
actually have a very similar story. We can't talk about it. Is
Okay.
that my biological father was never in my life. But if someone said to me today, would you like to go meet him? And I would say, fuck, no, I don't want to meet him. Now that I'm this amazing, hilarious person,
Mhm.
he wants to meet me? No. Big middle finger.
So I call Valeria's biological father, I call him Biodad. I think that's like a fitting term for all kind of, I don't want to talk shit about your dad, but like all of these deadbeats
I
who
don't know him.
who
You can
like,
say whatever you want.
who made kids and then like weren't around.
Mhm.
I don't know the circumstances that your bio dad
Me neither.
under which, but you've never met him?
So I met him. Yes, I have met him. I think I met him. The last time I think I saw him was right before I moved to America. So it must have been like 9-ish. But I can't put a face. Like if he would be walking down the street, I wouldn't know because I don't know what he looks like. I was so young that I don't remember. So I could pass him on the street, I wouldn't know.
Are
And
you ever curious?
people are like, "Do you know where he is?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Aren't you? You're not curious?
I'm not curious because now that I have kids,
Yeah.
I'm even less curious. I'm like, if I would ever be in a situation like that, I would go above and beyond to find my kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, how could you have not ever found me? Especially now with social media, email. I mean, like, there's so many ways to connect to someone. So I'm not curious, and it's almost like I'm too good. Like my company is worth like a lot of like
Where does he
amazing.
live? Where in Russia?
He must have still live in the same city that I'm from. I have no idea.
What city are you from?
Rostov-na-Donu.
I don't even know where that is.
Okay, it's kind of next to Kiev. We don't have to go that way.
But you're from Ukraine.
No, I'm from Russia, but it's close to Kiev, but it's a Russian city. You know where Sochi is?
Yes.
Okay, same neighborhood-ish, southern.
Got you.
But listen, maybe he's watching to this. I wish you well in hell. Just kidding.
So maybe I'm gonna surprise you, and he's gonna walk through the door, and it's gonna be like one of those shows where
It would be a little
that'd be
awkward.
funny. You want to hear something funny? I reached out to Valeria's biological sister.
She has a sister?
Yeah.
Through the dad.
And another.
So
and another.
I do too.
Or do you know her or no?
I know that my biological father has 2 other kids. I think they're both girls.
But doesn't
with
it,
somebody
like,
else.
But doesn't that like? Aren't you like? I have a sister. Like
I don't.
you don't have a like sister with whom you grew up with. You don't have a sibling from that perspective. But biologically,
I don't subscribe to blood is thicker than water.
I don't subscribe to blood is thicker than water either. But I mean, if you think about it, it's like it's just be kind of cool. Like I gotta say, my dad, he was quite a pimp, and I wouldn't be. Oh yeah, my dad was running.
Have you
around.
done like DNA testing? Not DNA, like 23andMe or
I
Ancestry.com?
haven't done it, but I think it's just gonna say.
You shouldn't.
Well, no, I think it's just gonna say you're a Jew, and everybody before
No, but
you
it
was
gives
a
you a
Jew.
family tree.
You are a white Ashkenazi Jew. Like
Mine said that too. 99% Eastern European. I was like, okay, great, like whatever. But it can give you a family tree that will say, oh, you potentially have this sister or brother or something.
oh, it can match you up with other people.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised with my dad. God rest his soul. My dad, he split up with my mom.
So you reached out, and what happened?
Oh, so I reached out to her on Instagram.
Recently? In the last 5
Couple
years?
of years.
Okay.
Yeah, last 5 years. And if I tell you she looks like, let me see if I can get a picture of her.
She looks like Valeria?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Did Valeria talk to her?
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
Valeria
Me and her are in the same. It's not, it's like, not that I'm not curious, but it's like, okay, yeah, similar. I mean, yeah, they could pass for sisters for sure. They
What
are.
do you mean? They're biological sisters.
But half sisters, obviously.
Well, yeah, they're half sisters. I mean, still,
But I literally have, I think I have 2 other half sisters. Yeah.
that
That's
looks like
scary. Yeah.
That looks like Valeria.
So what's the age difference? Too close.
I'd say she's probably in her mid to late 20s.
Okay, so yeah, that's close. I think mine are, I don't know if they're older. Like, I don't know the whole story, and I don't
Well, no,
really
they wouldn't
care.
be older.
I
if your
don't know. But my mom was never married to him either.
Sorry, so you don't know if he had a family before you? You don't know anything about this guy?
I just know that I'm pretty sure he had 2 other daughters. I guess after me or before. I don't
Your
know.
mom must have information.
But I don't really care. She must have some kind of information.
How old are you now?
32.
Okay, and you don't think that to me, it's not about like reuniting and having a relationship. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
I would just be genuinely curious because I gotta say,
what's the curiosity? Okay, so let's say he's sitting right here. What do you want to talk to him? What do you say? What's your favorite color? How's your life been for the past 32 years? With
for me, my thing is that like I have 3 children with my wife, obviously, and they have a biological grandfather that I've never met. So to me, I would actually be interested in meeting Valeria's bio dad from that perspective. Because apparently, like, he was like, when he was young, he was like an Adonis. He was this like blonde, blue-eyed, like big, tall, strong man. And so I want to understand what 1/8 of my children, like where these genetics come from.
But if you see a picture, don't you think that's enough?
It's enough, but I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Do your kids want to meet him?
It's my
They don't
kids
even know about him?
Yeah, they know that their current grandfather is
Not in the picture.
their current grandfather is Victoria's husband, so it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
their
yeah.
step grandfather.
It's
They
literally
understand.
have the same story. My grandfather was my step grandfather
Okay.
from my mom's side, but I called him grandfather. Like he was my grandfather.
I think it's like a Russian thing. It's like a Russian Eastern European thing where,
That men have kids, leave them.
yeah,
We're
that
married.
men have kids and leave them.
Well,
I remember when, we first started talking about it with Valeria, and she was just like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm like, what do you mean it's not a big deal?
I agree with her. It's like not a big deal too.
No, I know, but like I think like for me, because I did grow up with both my parents, even though that was completely dysfunctional, but I did grow up with both my parents. So to me, it's just like I also have this thing. I have this like man thing that if you have children, if you make kids, like you got to take care of them. That's just that
And why would you want to meet the loser that didn't have that mindset with
to me
Valeria?
it's a biological thing. I'm just biologically curious because I'm so close to my kids,
Yeah.
and this is a biological like fact that my kids carry this person's
I mean, we
DNA.
can go see him.
Um,
Do you want to?
I mean, I'd want him to give me some money. I think that'd be nice. Like, like, listen, it's been 35 years. Like, maybe the first 18, you kind of should have been paying this much per month. Let's make it happen.
I mean, if my father wants to cut me a check for $1 million, like I will accept it. But it's like that's the bare minimum you can do after not being here for 32
Right.
years. Like, hello.
Right? Let me ask you something. I want to bring this back to the content.
Yeah.
Is this something you would talk about in your content?
Oh yeah, I'm an open book around
Do you
that.
talk about it? in your content?
No, I don't talk about it because it's never been a focus in my life.
So,
But maybe I should.
well, listen, Valeria wasn't a focus either. And I guess one of the things that I told her was she was also very nonchalant about it, saying, like, I don't care. Like, Gary, this is nothing for me. I don't care. This is like a sperm donor. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit.
I kind of feel the same.
No, fair. But from a building a community perspective, she may not care about it. But what I told her is like, look, she was young when she went to meet him. She was like 27.
Mm-hmm.
I said to her, you may not care about it now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fair. But you may develop, you may change as you get older, as we have kids, more kids, whatever. You may change your mind. So it's a relatively low effort for you to go see him. The only reason you wouldn't see him is because of like, pride and potentially like you hate the guy. And
My husband kind of said the same thing. He's like, "Aren't you curious? Like, don't you want to find out?" And I'm like, "What's the benefit for me? What is the value for me?"
I don't mean to sound like an opportunist, but if you're asking for like a big life event that would like,
I can do
you,
something else. But I can't really
you can have
go to
another,
Russia right now.
you can have another kid.
Okay, yeah. That's like this whole joke. It's like should have another kid to get the content going.
Well, I mean, I don't think that would be a good reason, but
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, maybe maybe I should talk about this loser. I don't want to call him a loser, even.
I just think, look, you shouldn't force it, right? If it's
Yeah.
not something that resonates with you and you're not interested in it, then yeah, you shouldn't. However, what I do believe is I do believe that this is the type of thing that will resonate with a lot of women. And I know, how I kind of gauge how things land with audience.
Mm.
I obviously look at the comments. I don't look at them all the time, at Valeria's comments, but I do glance at them, and I try to get an understanding of what's going on there. But my real gauge is when we meet people in real life,
Mhm.
not creator method members.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just people, random people.
And so many people probably tell her like, "I
And-
found you through that
Well,
story."
a lot of people. Well, you found her through this roots
Yes.
story of her going back to Russia with her mom. Well, there's no coincidence that not only did that piece of content get to you because the algorithm decided that there's enough like reaction from the audience on this piece of content that it gave it more distribution. Therefore, it got to you. And when it got to you, the context of that story is what made you interested in Valeria and got you following her on potentially all of her platforms or some of her platforms. And then eventually took you down the road years later to discover me, to discover
Yeah.
creator method, to be sitting here with me. So it's just interesting how certain things, it's like, that butterfly effect, the
Yes.
concept. So it's interesting how that happens. And it happens more and opportunities start coming to fruition the more you do, with the filter of what you're comfortable with. When I'm suggesting for you to potentially go into this, I'm not suggesting it from a perspective of like, do it without like this filter of like,
Well,
well,
that's kind of my style. No filter.
no, I meant your own internal filter. I don't mean a filter like, I mean, you have to be comfortable with it, right? Like you have to be comfortable with telling the story. So
Yeah,
if
because what if it does hit? Because then I kind of have to ride that wave and make more content.
you don't
about
have to necessarily, it's not a question of riding the wave. It's just that if you like, I don't think you should manufacture it,
Yeah.
but I think that there's a real opportunity for you to talk about it. And then eventually maybe you will want to go to Russia and because you may develop that. No? Okay. So,
I mean, we went for the World Cup. It was lovely. I don't think I'll be going back anytime soon.
no, especially with the politics right now.
So yeah.
No, fair. But again, all I'm saying is that if this is something that you feel you can talk about, and maybe now's not the right time, but there are certain things that you can reveal about yourself that will build an affinity with the audience and will attract more audience. And if it's not this, it could be something else. It's just that you have to kind of decide what you're comfortable with sharing and what you're not comfortable with sharing. But whatever it is you are comfortable with sharing, what I'm not seeing enough is what I'm getting at, because I have to talk a lot to get to full circle. That's my process. Land the plane. I know. What I'm saying is that for you, I'm not seeing in your content enough of your story. Do you know what I mean?
That's good feedback.
Well, I'm seeing the comedic stuff.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the in the moment stuff. But what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing the weave
The
of
vulnerability.
vulnerability as part of it. I'm just not seeing a storyline.
Okay.
That's what you're missing storytelling.
I don't really do that.
I know, but that's
Maybe I should.
like, again,
That's
let's
good
use
feedback.
Valeria as an example.
Yeah.
You know about her trip to Russia, about her estranged father, you know about that she married a much older, handsome man. You know that
my husband's older too.
there you go. But so you
Not as
connected.
much.
Thank you. Not many are. You know about her 3 kids. You know about that she moved to Miami. You know that she has a business. You know about what she goes through. You know about the fact that she took Benjamin, our 10-year-old, to the Billie Eilish concert yesterday. That's missing for you.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what's establishing human connection.
Mhm.
That storytelling doesn't show up in the data.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's the takeaway.
I think that's really good because you don't know what you don't know, but also you don't see your content from a different perspective. You're kind of staying in your lane and sometimes have these blinders on, but sometimes it's good to let in certain things through.
I agree, but I just said something that I want to say again because I really wanted to land with you.
Let's hear it.
Is that the storytelling part, your unique story, that's not something that comes out in the data.
Yeah.
So that's more something you have to trust from here. Because when you tell a story, whether it's in actual stories or whether it's in a reel, that reel and you telling that may not get the viral results that you want it to get, may not get the high amount of views. But for the kind of reduced amount of people that see it, as opposed to like your average amount of views, you now have created stronger connections with those people.
Yep.
And now those people are more likely to engage with you next time you come across. And when the algorithm picks it up, again, it's over time.
Yeah.
And so what will stop a lot of creators from the storytelling is that the storytelling is not sexy from a numbers perspective immediately. But now Valeria just posted going to a concert with our kid, right? This was posted 5 hours ago. It has 239,000 views. This will likely do 500 or 600,000 views. Right. But what I'm telling you is, why did it do it?
Because she's taking it on a journey and showing emotion and showing.
Yes, but if somebody else did this with 5,000 followers, do you think it would get this many views?
No.
Why?
Because it's only engaging like kind of what you have, not pushing it out too further.
I'll tell you why. Well, hold on. I'm just curious. This went out currently at 239,000 in 5 hours, 59.5% to non-followers.
Interesting.
Right. Let's ask why. Because I think there's a good lesson to be learned here. Because we've spent so much time building Valeria's personal brand, because we're playing the long game.
Yeah.
What's happened is anything Valeria puts out will get views because it's her story. Yeah. Because now there are a number of people that resonate with it. So because the engagement metrics are so high on her followers, the algorithm sees that and says, I'm going to push it out to people who aren't her followers. Now new followers, approximately 160,000 of them, now new 160,000 people have now seen Valeria in a matter of 5 hours, are now introduced to her brand. They're non-followers, or they're people who are non-followers who have seen her a couple of times, and now they're that much closer to becoming followers. We're moving them along that journey. But the only way that you can do that is by doing the storytelling and developing a personal brand that does not rely on virality. That relies on unsexy metric storytelling. I like that. Unsexy metric storytelling. I'm coming up with new stuff.
That's good.
For your benefit. Thank you. I appreciate that. right? But that unsexy metric storytelling. Can someone write this down? One of our producers watching this, the unsexy story
Unsexy
metric,
metric story.
unsexy metrics stories.
Yeah.
Like it's bringing in the personal brand. So you have to be okay with like that reduced performance. And then eventually over time, that's what you get. You get people who are bought in, where now the algorithm sees it and they're like, okay, well, this is working with her followers. Let's not push it out to this new group of people.
Yeah.
That's how you get growth. But there's no shortcut to it.
No,
and that's why this chase for virality is stopping a lot of people. It's stunting their growth.
It was stopping me for a little while too.
Anyway, so I think if we kind of look at, what you should be doing, I think you should two things. You should like really hop on the trends for what I call that top of funnel growth. Top of funnel meaning that's how they first learn about you.
Yep.
You should jump on those, and you have to start weaving in your story and be okay with reduced metrics on it.
I'm just, now you're saying this, I'm thinking of a hook that I can put on the screen about my biological father. I've never met my biological father, but I need a way more like funny and spicy.
I think when you sit down and do the work and use Chatty G and work with Chatty G, my kids call it Chatty G.
I like it. I'm gonna take it.
I like it too, but you have to credit my son Jake every time.
Every time.
Yes.
Chatty G.
Chatty G. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you wordsmith that a little bit, then you can come up with it. And it could be it could be as simple as just doing a talking head and talking about it. Or if you've got some old pictures of yourself when you're little or something and kind of.
Of course I do. It's so cute.
Of course.
I literally look the same.
I have no doubt. And you always will.
I'll show you. I look the same.
Okay.
There is like no change at all.
I'm really glad we did this. I'm glad that I'm here in LA. I'm very happy that you came to the lunch today, to the Creator Method lunch, which was awesome. I really enjoy myself in all these events. And I think that, I don't know, I'm hoping we accomplish something today.
Of course, you spend time with me.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. That's so sweet of you. And you told me that I need new material, but that's good. I needed that feedback too.
I'm going to be giving you constructive feedback. I was like, Gary, you're so great. Gary, you're great. And we need more.
You're absolutely right. But I like everyone else, I'm a work in progress. So thank you. I really hope that you take some of the things that we talked about and specifically to drill it down to the trending stuff, kind of the macro and the micro concepts, and also kind of weaving in your story. But your bio data is only one of those stories. I'm sure that there are other stories. You just have to be comfortable with sharing it, and ask your husband if he's okay with you talking about certain things, because you don't want to cause problems there.
Yeah, he's usually fine. I mean, I don't.
You don't
it's my family that has the drama. His family is perfect and amazing.
Awesome. Vera, thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm hopefully going to see you in Miami.
I hope so.
Next month.
Yes, I hope so.
Okay, guys. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.